Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a budget with me for the paycheck that I'm receiving on August 18th, 2022 using the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. As I said in my introduction, this is a budget with me for the paycheck I'm receiving on August 18th. I thought we'd start out in the monthly view in my Budget by Paycheck workbook from the Budget Mom. This paycheck is definitely a little bit more exciting than the last one. I am paying all of the bills that are listed in my monthly calendar in light blue. So we'll be dealing with Netflix, my car payment, which is a newer bill to me, my Optimum, Verizon, church contribution, and normally I would have my student loan payment, but student loans are currently on hold, though that is about to end. I do also have to keep in mind that I have my 52-week challenge, which my contributions are listed here on the side for. I do have a savings challenge from the Budget Mom, but I'm not going to be pulling that until the last day of the month. So if I bring you guys forward to the paycheck budget tracker, I'm going to zoom you all in. That way you can see the sheet nice and clearly. Let's make sure we're focused because that looks a little, why are we not focusing? Well, this has never happened to me before. So some of you may know, some of you may not know. Oh, there we go. Okay. That I use my phone to record videos. I did have a camera, kind of stopped working. Didn't feel like the quality is much different from my phone, so I've been using my phone. That's the first time I've ever had an issue with it, like focusing or anything. So paycheck for the 18th of August, starting out in the income section. As usual, I'm budgeting my income to be $3,000. That tends to work well for me. My paycheck tends to be just a couple dollars more than that. In my bills section, we have all of those bills that were listed in my monthly view in light blue. My Netflix, which is about $17. My car payment, which is about $4.75. It's actually less than that, but I'll check it in a second. Optimum, which is around $205, Verizon, which is $125, and my church contribution, which is $20. Now, going to my monthly view, I think for the month of August, I had kind of filled out my paycheck budget trackers before I was 100% sure what my monthly payment was going to be for my car. But my last payment, my payment in July was around, I think it was like $456. So I really only need about $457. I'm okay with this though. I'm okay with budgeting it a little high. Those extra dollars are just going to sit in my cushion, in my checking account cushion. So that's okay with me. So if I add up all of these bills together, they come to $842. And if I subtract that from the $3,000 that I budgeted my income to be, we're left with $2,158, which is what I'm going to be bringing down to the envelope section of the paycheck budget tracker. Now, the envelope section is where you're going to put in all of your variable expenses. For me, those are groceries, eating out, gas, and miscellaneous spending. I did have somebody ask me, I'm not sure if it was here on YouTube or on Instagram, I think it was on Instagram, how come I don't have anything in my budget for purchasing clothing, purchasing books? Like, I post a lot of videos here on YouTube now about my reading, and obviously I must purchase books if I'm reading consistently. And I let her know, that person know, that that's really what my miscellaneous category is for. I don't really buy a lot of clothes, to be totally honest. I haven't purchased a lot of clothes probably in over a year. I'm in a bit of like a weird funk with my body. I'll be totally honest about that. You know, I tried, I think it was more in the fall, to kind of eat a little healthier, potentially start exercising again, trying to kind of lose some of the weight I had gained during COVID. And that was initially successful for me, but I definitely fell off the bandwagon hard when it came to that stuff. And I definitely gained all that weight that I had lost back. And so I don't have a ton of clothes that fit me right now, but I'm also really not looking to buy a ton of clothes in the size that I'm in, because I'm really hoping to lose the COVID weight that I gained. You know, We'll see. We'll see if that actually happens, but I don't really spend a lot of money on clothes. I don't wear makeup, so I don't spend any money on that kind of stuff. I use very minimal beauty or like healthcare related products. So I have like one sunscreen that I use, a face oil that I use, both of which I had purchased recently if you watch my last budget with me. And then I have a face wash that I use, and I actually haven't had to purchase it in like a few months because the bottle's pretty big. So yeah, I don't spend a ton of money on like beauty or clothing related products for myself. And I would say I probably spend more money on books and planning supplies, though I'm trying to be better about planning supplies. So anything with regards to that kind of stuff really does come out of my miscellaneous envelope, and for me that works. I don't feel the need to have a separate envelope for like clothing or beauty stuff or books or hobby related stuff. I think I could just utilize my miscellaneous envelope for that. That's what works for me and my budget. I always have the same values in these envelopes. It's been what's worked for me since the beginning of the year. So I always budget $200 for groceries, $75 for eating out, $75 for gas, and then $150 for miscellaneous. If I add all of those totals together, it comes to $500, and if I subtract that from the $2,158 I was left with after paying my bills, I have $1,658. That's what I'm going to bring up to the sinking fund section of the paycheck budget tracker. As you can see, I only have 2 sinking funds listed here, travel and car maintenance. My travel sinking fund has been getting a lot of love lately. That is my #1 savings goal currently because I'm going on vacation in October and I am currently trying to save for that vacation. So that's why it's getting $1,500 with this paycheck. Once I have that saved, I'm going to go back down to what I was usually putting into my travel sinking fund, which was I think $50 a pay period. For car maintenance, I do have a new vehicle. I purchased it in June. I do want to have a car maintenance sinking fund. I think that that's something I just can't comprehend not having because I've had one for so long and it works so well for me. So I am going to be saving to get a car maintenance cash sinking fund of $1,000. Once I hit $1,000, I'm not going to keep contributing to it because my car is newer. So with this paycheck, it is getting $50, which is its usual amount. Those 2 sinking funds added together do equal $1,550. And if I subtract that from the $1,658 I was left with after paying my bills and contributing to my variable expenses, I have $108 left. Now that is what I'm going to bring down to the extra savings section, which is where I tend to list my house savings. House savings was a huge priority for me. It was definitely my main priority in 2021 and in the beginning of 2022. But in recent months, having to buy a car, saving for vacation, those have kind of become higher up on my priority list, and house savings has dropped down a bit. I think I'm feeling a little bit unmotivated, to be totally honest, with regards to my house savings. I mean, I know it's not my main goal right now, but I think that constantly looking for houses and constantly not finding anything that is appealing to me in my price range is just very frustrating. I don't think I want anything extravagant, but where I live, homes are pretty outrageous, and it's just very defeating, constantly looking and not finding anything that I'm even interested in. So I definitely want to get back into focusing on house savings once I'm done paying for my vacation. That and paying off my car a little bit more quickly are going to be my 2 main goals. But right now, because it's not my main priority and because the house search is going so poorly, it's definitely made me unmotivated when it comes to my house savings. But it will be getting the $108 that I was left with after everything else. And if we flip this over, we are in the cash envelope breakdown section. We're gonna have a zooming or a focusing issue again. Nope, there we go. Okay. If you watched my last budget with me, I totally forgot to fill out this page. I was better about that this time. I do have everything listed down here on the side. You'll see that my groceries category is not listed on here. That's because I purchase my groceries online and pick them up, so I have to be able to pay for them online. So for me, it doesn't make any sense to pull that money out when I know I'm going to have to make purchases online. So I have a separate checking account that I put my grocery money into, and I pay for them out of that account. For eating out and gas, they both get $75, and they're going to get that in a 50, a 20, and a 5. For my miscellaneous, it gets $150, but the denominations definitely change every pay period based on the savings challenges that I'm doing and what denominations I need for those savings challenges. For this pay period, I'm going to be taking out that 150 in two 20s, two 50s, a 20, two 10s, a 5, and 5 singles. My travel sinking fund is getting its $1,500 in all $100 bills, and then my car maintenance is getting a single $50 bill. That means that when I go to the bank the day I get paid, I will be pulling out $1,850 from my checking account, and that is what we will be stuffing in my cash envelope stuffing that we'll be posting on Saturday. I hope you all enjoyed this budget with me. Went on a couple little tangents there, but hopefully it just allows you to understand my budget or my reasoning behind my budget a little bit better. Certainly, if you all have any questions or comments about my budget or how I budget for things, don't hesitate to put a comment down below. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.